Hello everyone, welcome to the 9th video of Python tutorial series. We have already started learning about control statements in video 8. Now we are going to continue with that. We are going to understand what is the iterative statement and how we can use. There are two options we have when it comes to repeat a process. The first statement we can use to repeat a process is the while loop, and the other statement we can use is the for loop. In this video, we are going to go through what while loop is and how it works. To begin with, we are going to write a simplest program which is going to repeat 1 to 10. So let's try to print 1 to 10 using the while loop first. If I say I is equal to 1, that means I am declaring a variable here. And then what I am going to write is while I is less than equal to 10. And I put a colon sign here, right? So this becomes a while loop. Now here, if I try to print value of I, if I do not add any more lines in this same code, then what will happen? The condition says while I is less than equal to 10, print the value of I. But I will never change in this piece of code. I will always remain 1. So when I is less than equal to 10, it will keep on repeating. So this will become an endless loop, right? There will be no end to this loop. But we do not want that. What we want is, we want I should reach to 10 at some point of time. And for that, at least in this instance, we can say I is equal to I plus 1. That means every time I should be incremented by 1. Now let's try to print this and see what is the output. So now when we run, if you observe the output window, it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, right? So now the output is 1 to 10 here. Imagine in the same piece of code, I want to print hello 10 times. So now the only change I do is instead of I'm going to display hello, right? This will display, this will repeat this process 10 times because this loop is going to execute any process you write 10 times. Let's try this code. Again it says hello 10 times. So this is a very basic syntax of the while loop. Let's also try another way. We are going to repeat this loop 10 times only, and I'm going to print the value of I, but instead of having I is equal to 1 initially, I will say variable I is equal to 10. So now I begins with 10. Now if I run the same code, I is already 10. So let's try to run and see what is the output. It straight away says 10 and it comes out of the loop. The reason is I is initialized with a value 10, and the condition is when I is less than equal to 10, I is less than equal to 10 in this case, so it prints I, then it increments I by 1. So I becomes 11. It goes back to this line, it checks, now I is not less than equal to 10, so the loop gets terminated. In case if I want to display 10 to 1, then what can I do is, I can change this condition. I can say when I is greater than equal to 1, print the value of I, and I needs to be decremented by 1. So let's run this and see what is the output. Now this loop is also repeated 10 times. If I print hello in this same case, it will be displaying hello 10 times only. But if you refer the value of I, then as you can see the output, it says 10, 9, 8, 7, 6 and so on. It reaches till 1. So by changing the condition pattern or the increment or decrement pattern, you can decide what you want to print and how you want to execute the loop. It is never fixed to write a loop. There are multiple ways to achieve the same thing. So it all depends on what's your program's requirement. Depending on that, you generally put a loop. Let's also extend the same example. Right now we are displaying 10 to 1 anyway. For example, I will change this I is equal to I minus 1 to I is equal to I minus 2. This means that I am decrementing the value by 2. So now initially it will be 10. So 10 will be printed here. then the value of I is already 10. So it will say 10 minus 2. So I will become 8. So in this case, it will start with 10, then it will keep on displaying all the values till 1, but every time the value will be decremented by 2. Let's run this and see what is the output. Now as you can see in the output window, it says 10, 8, 6 and so on. So it means that you have displayed all the even numbers between 1 to 10 but in a reverse order. So this is how you can try various patterns of while loop.